episode of We Are Liars, a Pretty Little Liars podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Michelle.
And we're discussing episode 20 of season 1, titled Someone to Watch Over Me. Original air date, March 7th, 2011, written by Joseph Doherty and directed by Arlene Sanford. As the heat is turned up on suspicions surrounding Spencer, the liars must come to the harsh realization that they aren't the only ones hiding secrets in Rosewood. What do you think of this episode?
So many times as I was watching it, I'm like, oh my God, am I watching the right episode?
Did you feel like there's a little, maybe like a little gap there?
I don't know why I felt that way. Sometimes when I feel like we're on our own and we're not watching together, I'm like, oh shit, am I on the right one? Did I skip
Right.
ahead? Did my TV
It could
play?
happen.
It could happen, but I double checked. And because when you were saying the title, I'm like, I don't remember that title, but there's no way I watched episode 21 and we watched 19 already. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. I know. And it's funny. I keep forgetting that this is the title of the episode.
Yeah.
Each week when I go into our Simplecast, which is like the hub that we host our podcast on, I'm like, which episode is it again? And I type it, I'm like, that's not the right one. And I'm always like a week behind. I'm like, no, we did that one already. My brain just doesn't register.
I also just feel like this episode should have been titled A Person of Interest.
Yeah.
And Spencer says it. I'm a person of interest. Like
I
so many
know.
times in this episode. So that's what threw me off too. But anyway, let's
Agreed.
get into it.
All right, let's get into Spencer. So, unfortunately, now that she is a person of interest, the police have a search warrant for her bedroom. They're rummaging through her belongings. She's so uncomfortable. However, Veronica tells them that she can't give them the laptop. They're not allowed to have that. It's not on the warrant. So she's like, okay. So she gets this time and she deletes whatever she needs to pertaining to suspicion on the girls, on Ian, whatever. And while she does, her friend Toby comes over and he tells her that she needs to go and bring them some coffee, butter the cups butter the cops up, and just let them know that she knows that they're there and she will also be watching them in return of them watching her. So later, Toby and Spencer have this very sweet, mature date, if you will, where they're just sitting by the fire.
Where
And
are Spencer's parents?
I
don't
they're
understand
never home.
the idea, but we see her parents and we'll see Ian, not Melissa, but Toby casually was just hanging out in the house, and I just couldn't believe that this was happening.
Yeah, especially because Toby has a reputation.
Yeah.
And we'll see it next week where the parents are like, no, Toby's no good. Like, we can't have you associating with someone like that. So, this is the time they have together, which I really enjoyed.
Very
Them
sweet.
just being cozy and having a conversation about running away, because she says to Toby, what was that like? You ran away because you were looked upon as someone who was guilty. And he's like, you do it. Didn't you ever run away as a kid? And she's like, actually, I did. And I went to the movies. And when I came back, nobody knew I left. Like, ouch.
But is that really running away?
No.
Like, you just went out. You know what I mean? Like, I guess as a kid, you're putting so much stock into it. But
yeah.
Did you really?
I think did she say she was 7, or did I make that up?
I think she was very young.
I mean, that's
true.
very young to leave the house by yourself, to go to the movies, to sit in the movies. And then for you to just come home and your parents act like you never had left. They had no idea that you were gone. She's just, as you see time and time again, the runner-up, the second best child, and that definitely has given her a complex for sure.
Yeah, I get it.
Really sad.
I understand.
Yeah, and so the next day, Veronica says to Spencer, look, I'm on your team. You shouldn't be afraid of this search warrant. But then all of a sudden she sees Ian and he's in the dark drinking.
He's drinking milk.
Was he drinking milk? Because Mike said he was, and I thought it was scotch.
Okay. No, there's 2 times we see Ian in this episode. Okay. The first time when they're searching Spencer's room.
Oh, right, at the door.
Drinking a glass of milk.
You're
That
right.
blew my mind, and then the next time, I think he's drinking, like, scotch or something, but
Yes. I
I
wonder
wrote
if
that
they're trying
down.
to like make a weird balance. Like, oh, it's the morning, he drinks milk, and then in the
Ew.
evening he drinks
Ew.
scotch.
No.
Yes, I
No.
I totally forgot about that moment that he does pop his head in while Spencer is having her room looked,
Yeah.
under the search warrant, and he is drinking the milk. Why? Who just drinks
Why?
milk? Serial killers.
Exactly.
You know? But during this conversation, it's later in the day, he's having, it looks like to be scotch, and he tells Spencer basically she should run away and he will help her run away because things are only just going to get worse for her. But also she's like, well, it would get worse for you too if I did stay around because, I know things about you. And he's like, before you get arrested by the police, before it's too late, you should go. Like, what'd you think of
What?
that? Like, what a
I mean,
like random
he's
thing
such a
to say.
dick. He's such a dick, and now we have, like, a clear motive. And
Yeah.
also, now at first I was like, okay, I still don't think Ian did it, but Ian's clearly involved and trying to place the blame now on Spencer, obviously,
Right. And
because of
he
his
wants
small
Spencer off his
involvement.
back. He's like,
Yeah,
stop trying to investigate into my past.
right.
I don't like it.
Also, where's Melissa? Where's
Yeah, I
Melissa?
don't know. She's in and out a lot in this at least in this season. I
Hmm.
wonder why that is. He's definitely in it more than she is.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that night, Spencer's mom goes into her bedroom and she tells her that they have a good possibility of getting this warrant thrown out, but they did find fibers of the sweater of Toby's that Allison was wearing the night that she was missing and killed, the one with bloodstains on it. And it was on her friendship bracelet. So Veronica's like, I know it's not possible, but I need to still ask you, did you tamper with this sweater? And making it seem like she removed the sweater after Allison was
Yeah.
passed and also then put it in Toby's possession. So now Spencer's like, oh my God, now Toby's gonna think I like planted some evidence on him. And she's just so upset,
I mean, how
because she
could you
doesn't know what the
not?
future holds for her.
This is so, it's just awful.
Yeah, and what's good though is that her mom's like, no, I fully believe that someone is trying to frame you and make you look guilty.
Yeah.
So at least her mom doesn't believe that she did do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, on to Arya and some other parental things going on in this episode. So Byron and Ella are still hooking up, if you will, and Arya's very intuitive to it, and she knows that Ella had stayed the night when she pretends to come over for coffee the next morning, aka she never left.
Mhm.
And they admit that they're trying something, and Byron obviously is more hopeful than Ella is. Ella's like, we're just trying to figure it out. We don't really know what it means, but maybe we should have a family dinner tonight and the kids will cook for them. And because love is in the air, Arya decides that she's going to text Mr. Fitz that she can't wait to stare into his eyes
I've
later.
never sent a text like this before. Ever.
Never. I've
Maybe I'm not
never.
romantic. I don't
Right,
know.
I on the way, so we went to 90s Con this past weekend, and on the way there, Michelle and I were talking about wedding stuff naturally because I'm getting married, and she's like, "So what are you gonna do about your vows?" And I was like, "I just would never be like, you're the only one for me. I searched my whole life for you. I want to look into your eyes. Like these are just not the things that would come out of my mouth." So hearing it come out of hers is quite
It
funny
also
to me.
just sounds so adult. Like, not that a
Yeah.
teenager would say this. I don't know. It was weird.
Right. I think also because he and her both share that common like writers or like
They're into literature.
they're like bookish people, if you will, so they have that kind of
Bookish.
take on on romance, I guess. And they have a very like odd sense of romance, maybe the romance that we just don't understand. But
Mm-mm.
yeah, so she texts him that, however, she's not texting Ezra, she's texting her mother, which there's no way in hell that she's Ella Montgomery in her phone, let's be honest.
I know, like,
She's
how do
mom.
you get Ezra from mom? You just
Yeah.
opened up the last text, perhaps. That's the only way I could see that this
Or
happened.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike's like, maybe she should get a normal phone and she wouldn't be able to,
Wow.
screw up like that.
Logistics, Mike. Logistics.
Exactly. So Ella does call Arya out about it, and Arya's of course mortified, and she really has no excuse to it, but she's like, please just don't pry. Like I don't need to get into it. I'd rather just keep this a secret. And I really was appreciative that Ella did respect that. Even so, she deletes the text message from her phone, which I was
Yeah,
like, that was a great parent move.
I
Like,
agree.
okay, I trust you. I'll be trustworthy for you back. And
Right. And
I thought
also,
that
it's
was great.
okay for your kids to have secrets,
Right.
which I love. It's true.
It is. And then later, she decides because now her mom is a little suspicious, and also the police could potentially also go through her bedroom. She like de-Ezraifies the whole bedroom, except for one book by Sherwood Anderson, which Ezra had like inscription, like in a signature on it. I guess that was the memory keepsake.
He like
And
put when
so
you leave Rosewood.
for when you leave Rosewood. Yeah. Which I guess, like, would you pick that up and necessarily think that that is something suspicious from your
I don't know.
teacher? I
I don't
don't
know.
know. I don't
I don't
know.
know.
So Ella decides to share this information with Byron. She feels like it's only fair that the parents know that Arya is dating someone, and he is feeling like she needs to tell them who she's dating because their recent brush with the law, he feels like we don't really my kids shouldn't really have secrets because maybe it could get them in trouble. And so Byron goes into Arya's room and he's like snooping, not really touching things, but before he can, Ella catches him and they begin fighting. And she says, well, the only reason why Arya has secrets is because that they had kept secrets, and alluding obviously to Byron. And they continue to argue, and of course Mike sees, and he's so upset with this because he keeps thinking like his parents are going to get back together. So later on he approaches Arya and he's like, whatever you did, fix it, tell them you're dating whoever, I don't really care, just make them stop fighting and let's be a family. And so Ella decides she's not going to come to the family dinner after the fight with Byron.
How come I
Which,
don't remember this? Like,
really?
I do not remember Mike giving that speech. That's
Imagine
so
I'm like in another
weird.
episode.
No, you're definitely not. And I watched it last night. Maybe this is when Aunt came in. Aunt came in halfway through, like towards the
Yeah, we had some
beginning.
ant commentary
And
from
yeah, and
the
he like
episode.
he's instantly hooked. He's like, okay, fill me in. What's going on? Who's this? Oh my God, the blind girl. What happened here? I was like, okay, first off, please shut up. I'm trying to take notes. This is for tomorrow's. This is not for enjoyment. This is work right now.
Right, it's work. It's work.
And then he's like watching, like he's like, okay, who's this person? Why are we mad at this person? Do we like her? Do we like him? I'm like, Aunt, shut the fuck up. So I probably missed this whole situation.
It's
So thank
okay.
you.
It's
Okay.
minuscule in the
Yeah,
grand
I guess.
scheme of the episode.
I guess.
All right, let's talk about Hannah. So things with our love Haleb seeming to be good, and Hannah even finds what she thinks is a present for herself. It's an owl symbolizing their first night
Oh my
together.
God,
She's so
Hannah.
excited.
Oh gosh. We've all been there,
She's
right?
like, oh yeah, she's
Oh.
like, it means something. She shows the girls a picture of it, and they're
Uh-huh.
like, it's so pretty, Hannah. We can't wait to see it on you. And later at school, Arya and Emily overhear Caleb on the phone, and they're getting like bad vibes, like
Can
gut
we
feeling like something is wrong.
can we talk about this scene?
Yeah.
Why didn't Caleb go in a corner? He's literally like just standing in there's like a brick wall and he's just standing in the middle of it. And so the girls
Hmm.
look like they're looking around a corner. It was so awkward. If you actually watch it, I'm like, dude, it was just done on purpose and I it just like took me
Couldn't
out.
get past it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. But he is speaking out in the open on the phone, arguing with someone, stating, things about Hannah living in her house. The girls know that he's talking about Hannah, but Emily keeps pressing that she thinks it's another girl that he's romantic with. And I'm like, that's not the tone of the conversation. Definitely not the tone that he was attracted to this
No.
person, that he was nice to this person. But still, it has to do with Hannah, and they needed to tell her, and Hannah needs to know the truth. So at first, obviously, she's in denial. She's like, there's no way, because I couldn't even imagine just losing your virginity to someone who you trusted and then within hours, maybe days, finding out that they could potentially not be faithful to you in that situation. And then to make matters worse, Jenna walks in and has said owl on her neck.
I
And
loved
Hannah
this.
is, I mean, first of all, it's huge.
It's
It's like, I feel like that
ridiculous.
must have been so heavy to wear around your neck.
It's so ridiculous. But when she
Yeah,
walked in, I was like, oh,
right?
whoa.
So it
Yeah,
was Jenna. Were you
Jenna.
surprised?
I was surprised. I love this for the story because I actually gasped. Like
Oh,
in under my
good.
covers, and I'm like, and then Aunt's like, "What's with the owl?" And I was like, "Aunt, shut up! I don't know yet."
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so Spencer figures out that this owl is a flash drive. And then she's like, I couldn't see what was on the computer. I'm like, just stare over her shoulder. No, she's not gonna know I mean, she might know
I
you're
know.
there, but she won't know that you're actually looking.
Right. Why didn't she get closer?
Plus, like, why would Jenna do any of that stuff at school? If it was important stuff, she wasn't gonna be using it out in the open. I don't think. So Hannah texts Caleb, calls Caleb. He doesn't respond to her. She leaves him a note in his locker. And then for shits and gigs, she's like, actually, let me see if his combination is 214. And what do you know? It magically opens.
This is weird. This whole 214 thing, like maybe I thought it was I don't know, does this have more to do with the story just besides Caleb and Jenna?
Does 214?
Yeah, because Spencer and Toby were the first ones that really like thought of 214, right?
Right.
And
Because Toby had gotten that information from Jenna.
right, so Caleb and Jenna met in the hotel room 214.
Yeah. And so, from
Got
my
it.
understanding, and I don't know if this gives something away, but the 214 room, I think, was just like a red herring. I think it truly was actually Caleb's locker combination, and A was like fucking with them with that hotel room. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, and so Jenna but didn't they see Jenna in the hotel room? Or they
No,
only
they never
heard her
actually saw her. They only heard the flute, and they had her
and the
supposed
bag.
sunglasses and bag.
Right.
So
Oh my God.
I'm
And
just putting pieces together,
yeah.
you
And
know?
also, we've only seen that bag be handed off from Ian to
Right.
Jenna.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So, like, some
Mm-hmm.
moving
Hmm.
pieces that we have to kind of put together. So 214 evidently opens up Caleb's locker. He gets her note. He heads to the Marins later on. And we don't even have like an introduction. We go right into them just already fighting. And I wanted to read what the scene was word by word because I feel like it's important. Because if I just sum it up, I don't know. I feel like it doesn't really give it justification. So she's like, money, you did this for money. I'm a hacker. She asked me about her phone. The one you couldn't crack, was that a lie? Jenna found out that I did work on Emily's phone. She offered me cash to make myself available to you and to listen. So he was listening in on Emily and Hannah and whoever else. And she offered me cash to make myself okay. I thought it was a generic bitchiness with all pretty girls. Why shouldn't I make a buck?
I love
And
it.
she goes, you're such a creep. And he's like, wait. Then she started asking other questions, questions I didn't like. And by then, other things were happening with you and me. And she says, you were spying on me the whole time. And he's like, no, not the whole time. You gave her your locker combination. He's like, and she goes, he said, that's how she gave me the flash drive. And she says, "What was on it?" And he says, "Junk." She thinks it's a log off your cell phone, but it's not.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
What do you
To
mean you don't
me,
know?
like,
It's a classic
it's clear.
clear.
It's a very classic trope in a teen drama.
Yes, it is.
Miscommunication. Hannah doesn't wait long enough for him to truly like go deep into explanation. It's kind of surface. And she basically says like she doesn't, she doesn't want to see him. She's like, okay,
Yeah,
bye.
right, and it's also, like, it's too late. Like, he
Right.
fell for her, and she found out that he was lying to her, but it switched midway, right? And
Yep.
so, clearly, he still has feelings, and he stopped working with Jenna, and I still love him. I'm just like, "Can we get past this?" Is he on the island?
No.
Okay,
Oh my God.
thank God.
Oh,
That would've been, like, the
no.
quickest crush
I know.
ever.
No, he's not on the island. Uh,
Okay.
yeah. So the next day at school, Hannah and the girls see Jenna in the bathroom, and wow, wow, wee, wow, she just up and slaps her, and she's like, "This is Hannah." But then she picks up her sunglasses like a nice person.
And puts it in her palm. Does this scene live rent free? Because I feel like now this scene will be in my brain forever. And this is when Aunt was like, "What did that blind girl do?" And I was like, "Oh, Aunt, take a seat. Take a
I
seat."
I remember it. It triggered me remembering it happened, but it's not something that I remember like when I think of this show. But yes, as soon as they were in the bathroom, I'm like, oh wait, it came back to me. I'm like, this is where she stops Jenna.
And all I kept thinking was, "Oh my God, we're gonna see her gorgeous eyes," because this whole
Mm,
season, you're just like, she's got the most beautiful eyes.
yeah, she really does. And you do, and she's like shocked,
Yes,
like
she got
stunned.
assaulted in the bathroom.
That was really
Yeah,
messed up. I,
really
you
messed up.
know, what
Hannah,
what Jenna did was not cool,
no.
but we don't need to use physical assault on someone, you know?
She didn't even see it coming. Literally,
Of
like,
course,
couldn't defend
literally.
herself. Like,
No.
awful. Off, like, bad, 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 bad.
Right. She could have spoken to her and, called her out on it. But no, she slaps her. And then our girl, she's heartbroken later on. Ashley can see the pain. Hannah is in the bathroom. She claims she's going to take a bath, but she's just like beyond sobbing. And you can hear Ashley is listening in. She knows what's going on.
I
And at
felt
the
for
end of the
her.
episode, yeah, we see a preparation of a heart being smashed that has Hannah's name on it. Another campy thing that A did with a note that says, "Dear Hannah, try putting the pieces back together."
Unnecessary. Give me something
Very.
better. I don't know. I feel
Mm,
like this was petty. I'd rather, like, give me, like, a clue or something.
yeah. Well, all right. Yeah, you're asking for a lot, you know?
I know, but, like, I feel like we've been getting them.
hmm Yeah,
But
like I said, they come in waves. Like
yeah,
sometimes they're really
good.
important to the story, and then some of them you're like, oh, this was not needed. But
Yeah, okay.
all right, lastly, we have to talk about Emily. So at school, Hannah's ex, Sean, and her sort of ex, Paige, are getting chummy.
What?
Did not see this coming.
No, this is ridiculous.
Paige is so not Sean's type, let's be real.
I know. And also,
He needs
Paige is
like
just in
she's too
denial.
intense. Well, yes, as we know, Paige is in denial. But Sean, they have a little bit of a connection, and he goes up to Emily to ask about Paige, where Emily is like, I actually, we swim for the same team, but I don't actually know Paige.
No,
And
thank
he's like,
you.
well, how do you think Hannah's gonna react? And then Emily's like, Hannah saw you two together, and she honestly is happy for you, which is the truth. So Emily goes to confront Paige, who of course brushes it off. She's like, "No, I'm actually really looking forward to this date." And Emily's like, "Huh? I'm confused by this." She then overhears Paige in the bathroom talking to another girl about Sean and how he is being broken out of his shell a little bit by Paige.
It's so
Unnecessary scene,
weird.
but to show that, Emily, the whole day, Paige keeps like dodging the topic of her sexuality by going out on a date with Sean. So she decides to do it. She goes out with him. She texts Emily afterwards and shows up at her house. And she's like, "You know what? At first I was doing okay, and then he kissed me, and I was like, ooh, I actually realized that I was being fake this whole time. The whole thing felt fake." And so she and Emily kiss. So is it back on? Question mark.
Probably not.
I think I think obviously Paige wants it to be, but I still feel as though she's not going to want anyone else to know.
Agreed.
You know,
Yes.
she's not ready yet.
No.
All right, and that's my summary. We have a message from A, and then I also have to show you some photos from A. They photoshopped per your request.
Oh,
I just got them hours ago, so confusion by that. But the one message we got was only a couple more episodes to go, but so many remaining questions. How many more clues will you ignore? How many false accusations will you make? How many more lies will you tell? And then they have a picture, it's actually a physical countdown to our season 1 finale live podcast with hashtags. Hashtag Mikey Montgomery. Hashtag twin theory. Hashtag happy birthday. Hashtag je suis un ami.
what? Liz, you need to educate me. I've no.
I mean, I don't know. I don't understand. Obviously why I understand the hashtags. I don't know why they pertain to us in a way. Like happy birthday. Yes, Michelle and I's birthday is always in the same week. So Michael always wishes us a happy birthday.
I
Je
didn't.
suis un ami. I am a friend, and Mike had even private messaged me like, "Oh, I didn't even think about that title being like I am a friend to the girls." And then Mikey Montgomery. Why that choice? Because your name
Because
is
he's
Michael.
Mike. Yeah,
And then twin
absolutely.
theory.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's weird. That's weird.
I didn't realize that the message, the birthday Betty message, was on Talking Texas Forever at Gmail. Like
What
that,
birthday Betty message?
the image that was sent on my birthday, like happy birthday from A with the sticker that was sent to Talking Texas Forever at Gmail.
It
It
was?
was not sent to Total Betty or We Are Liars. And I thought you grabbed it from there. But then when I was going through Talking Texas, yeah, this morning or yesterday, I was like, oh my God, do you have all the emails? I don't keep We Are Liars and
I
I
I
only keep
do have
Talking
all the
Texas.
emails. I do have all the
Yeah,
emails.
since I, you know, so I was like, oh, they sent
Whoa.
it directly. So that even makes me think it's Mike even more.
Yeah. And then also this afternoon, I should say, we got a message, another email from A, but this time on We Are Liars Pod.
Uh-huh.
And here are some images.
Hey girl, can you read it to me?
Yeah. So it says, "Hey girl, I'd love to cuddle and watch teen dramas with you.
Oh my God.
Hey girl, are you a Total Buddy podcast? Because I love listening to you. Hey girl, I just left you a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. I just looked and there aren't any new reviews, so someone has some homework to do. But then, hey girl, you need to stop telling so many lies all the time. Hey girl, I'm not Mike."
We need to post these. We need to
I will,
post
of
these
course, of
on our
course.
social. Hey girl, I'm not Mike. Oh, okay. I'm
Hmm.
not Mike.
Yeah.
Wow. They're fun though.
So I look forward to maybe our finale episode, maybe getting something special from
You know,
a
Matt,
video, if you will, or something
yeah. Ooh, a video. Let's up their game. But you know
with like a
what?
disguised voice.
It would be interesting if at this point they're like, I'm not gonna fucking do this anymore, and I'm just gonna reveal myself after season one because
Right.
this is
It's
a
a
to
little
keep this
much.
up.
Yeah.
But
Right.
let's
Like we love it, but I know it's a tough job to do.
stop. Especially if we think it's Mike and he's providing the ice cream shop flavor every week.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
But this is fun. I
Mhm.
appreciate them sending those images to We Are Liars.
Love
If
it.
you could continue to do so, it would make my life a lot easier.
Yes.
And maybe you slipped up with the birthday message, or did you mean to do that because you know Michelle can open that, but then
Probably.
again, they open Total Betty, so I don't know.
Probably. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna take a short break and we'll be right back. This week's Rosewood shop is vanilla pudding ice cream with chocolate sandwich cookies and chocolate cookie swirls topped with milk chocolatey ganache and chocolate cookie crumbs. Always a mouthful. For this
Yeah.
episode, you better grab your shovels, or I mean spoons, liars, and dig into this episode. The chocolate cookie crumble on the top represents the dirt that is trying to be dug up in this episode. Jenna has paid Caleb to get information on Hannah. Byron is trying to figure out who Arya is dating. The police are sifting through Spencer's belongings, trying to find a link to Allison's death. In this ice cream, the chocolate sandwich cookies and chocolate cookies are swirled and intertwined together. Just like how the police found threads of Allison's sweater were intertwined with Spencer's bracelet.
Wow. I want ice cream now. That flavor sounds
Always.
so good.
I always want ice cream after we read these.
I know. And then I just edited Talking Texas Forever and we had ice cream over there. And I'm like, man, I really want ice cream. Thanks, Meg.
Yeah. All right, so let's do some questions first. Everyone wants to know, what are your thoughts on the Caleb? Will she forgive? Did you think she was overreacting? What's your spin?
I don't think she was overreacting. She's crushed. She's heartbroken. I think she will forgive him either next episode or finale. Like I can't imagine her not because I think he will still try. And yeah, I'm not like too concerned about it. The fact that you told me he's not on the island and we don't hate him,
Right.
he's in a safe zone right now.
Agreed. Yeah. He's definitely, while I feel what he did was shitty,
Yeah, but
he
listen,
owned up to it
yes,
and,
he owned up to it.
he needed a buck.
He needed a buck, and I laughed at his line and agree. Like I thought it was just girls being petty. Why not make $1 off of it? Like he did have nothing to owe Aunt Hannah or Jenna, so I don't really blame him.
Right, and he also gave Jenna some fake files. He
Right.
made it seem like it was Hannah's phone. And at
Yeah.
the end of the day, he did have her best interests at heart
Yes.
without giving her any information. So,
Exactly.
yeah. Vic says, "Do you double check the name before you send a text?"
Yes. Oh my gosh. I was thinking about
Yeah.
this and I was wanting to ask you, did you ever send a text to the wrong person? I get very paranoid with my audio. Like I will if someone doesn't respond, I'm like, did I send you the right audio message? Or did that go to somebody else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had it where I had I feel like it happened to me one time, but I was texting my friend about a coworker by accident, then texting that coworker. Mhm. Yeah.
Oh my God, that makes me want to go under a couch and never come out again.
Yeah, and, so this coworker of mine, we were, like, friendly, and we would hang out sometimes, and she had gone to school with one of my very best friends, a school district that
Are you
was
talking about Little
similar.
Feet?
Yeah, Little
Okay.
Feet. Code name, Little Feet. Um, and so my one friend was like, "Oh my god, that's so funny you're going to that party. I can't believe you're there," or something, and I was like, "Oh, Little Feet, like, dragged me here," and I sent it to Little Feet, so there you go.
That's not
And
the
we're
worst.
it's not the worst. I was just like, "Oh, I, didn't wanna make her feel bad that I was here
Yeah.
without her," or something.
Hmm.
I've had that happen before.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
sucks.
It does suck.
So, if you're sending something a little dirty, in a
Double
way,
check. Double check.
double
And if
double
you're
check.
sending something mean, double check. And if it's gossip and
Right.
secrets, double check.
Yeah. But also, don't be mean.
Right. But I mean,
You know,
sometimes people have tea. So
sometimes. Exactly. Who will find out first about Ezra? Will it be Ella or Byron?
I actually thought Byron was going to find out this episode, but
Mm.
I could actually see it being Ella keeping it from Byron and telling Arya to shut it down.
Mm, yeah, that's a good prediction.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you surprised Spencer's mom believed her?
No, I feel like Spencer's mom, she's she stood up for the girls. We've seen her, especially in the school setting and especially with this situation. So I hope she continues to believe her daughter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed. I think while she doesn't necessarily know what's going on with her kid, I think she knows that she's not capable of murder.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's that. Kim says, did you think Arya overreacted during her conversation with her mom about the mystery guy? I mean, she she's literally like skating on thin ice constantly.
No.
Like there's no way again, like I said last week, like her head is very very close to she's drowning very soon. You know, what she's doing is very secretive, and because it is, when people bring up things or she gets caught for things, she's going to be super defensive. And that's
Right.
just the nature of lying about a relationship.
Yeah, I didn't think she overreacted. I think she acted age appropriately.
Yeah, agreed. How do we feel about the slap?
I
You know,
mean, I was entertained by it. I don't
I
I
was
didn't
very entertained.
I don't agree with it. I think it was bold. I think it was uncalled for, but I think Hannah's just like, fuck this girl, man. And now
Right.
Caleb
Mm-hmm.
with
Yep.
your owl USB thumb drive charm necklace. It's weird.
Mike says, will Spencer continue to be a suspect? With only 2 episodes left of the season, do you think that this will be solved, or will we go into season 2 with Spencer still being a person of interest?
I think it will be solved, and then we'll go into next season with new thoughts.
Hmm.
Yeah.
If you could make like a light predict of what you think is going to be the wrap up of the like next 2 episodes.
Hmm, I'm not really sure. I think that the Halo situation will be wrapped up because we need some levity and
Yeah.
lightness.
Hmm.
Does Paige McCullers continue with us to season 2?
Yes.
Okay. No, I'm just thinking of like couples and stuff. So I think maybe this on again, off again, on again, off again will actually continue into season 2 with them.
Mm,
But I think Spencer, they will rule her out. I would love to see Ian being taken away in handcuffs.
me
I
too.
I am hoping for that at the finale. Even though they're going to
Okay.
let him go, because, but I do think he will be taken away.
Okay, so Ian in handcuffs finale.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will says a real, well, Will says who, a real character, which means excluding A at this point, did you think was framing Spencer? Do you think is framing Spencer?
Ian, I guess.
It seems feasible.
Yeah, I don't really know any I can't really think of anybody else, so I'm gonna go with Ian.
All right, so some trivia I have while Arya is cleaning up in her room, we see a coaster from Snookers. That is the bar that she and Ezra met in the books. Which is
Oh,
cute.
that is
Yeah.
cute.
This is the first episode in which we do not see the girls receive a text from A.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
look at
didn't
that.
even cross my mind, but I guess that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Arden Cho, who plays the girl whom Paige was talking to in the bathroom, and Cody Christensen, Mike Montgomery, both would go on to star in the hit MTV series Teen Wolf. Did you get up to Arden Cho in Teen Wolf? You didn't get that far, right?
I only got up to season 3. No.
Yep,
What's
she comes.
sidebar? When does the big situation happen in the
3.
but 3? Okay, I didn't get up to maybe I didn't get up to that.
Okay. In the books, Sean and Arya date, but A sends him a picture of her and Ezra together, and he breaks up with her. I wonder
Oh, wow.
how that went. Like, was she dating them both at the same time, like sort of like Noel Khan? Or was she like not with Ezra and then dated Sean or something? I
Right,
wonder how that
right.
went. So, Mike, if you can fill me
Yeah,
in.
please.
What was a quote that you liked?
I always wanted one of those. Paige talking about the bedroom window seat. Because,
I've
like,
always wanted
same.
one of those too.
Same,
Yeah.
Paige. And Aunt and I both said it. We're like, same.
Always. As a teenage
Always.
girl, that was like my dream to have a window seat.
I know. Yes.
My
You?
quote was, "Wait, not the Tory Burches."
Oh, yeah. Hannah.
She's like, "Oh, Hannah, no, my sneakers." Who was your MVP?
My MVP was Ella.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like I really enjoyed her parenting in this episode and her talking back to Byron and also trusting her kid.
agreed. I actually picked Toby because
Ooh.
I liked how he schooled Spencer with the cop stuff and how he was just there for her for moral support. I just really like them together and their scenes together.
You know what was weird to me? It's not weird. That's not the right thing. It's what I caught was you have this scene, Spencer's preparing the coffee in these to-go cups, and the next scene, Byron and Ella are walking with the same coffee cups. I was like, this is just a coincidence of like the paper cups in the town, but I was like,
hmm
weird.
And I hate that they don't actually have coffee in them.
Just put
That
water in
bothers me.
them. I know.
Gilmore Girls were so bad for that.
So bad. She'd be walking and it'd be like
She'd be like,
tilted to the side. Like, Alexis, come
yeah,
on.
that was like the worst usage of a fake coffee cup in
Yeah.
history is on Gilmore
Yeah,
Girls.
I know. It's really bad.
It just bothers me. Um, what about a shittiest?
I chose Byron. He had really annoyed me this
Hmm.
episode.
Yeah, we had to vote for Byron. I actually picked Ian.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
he bothers me just as much as Byron does.
Barf.
And the whole speech of "I think you need to run away" to Spencer, like you're crazy, dude.
See, that's why I want Spencer's mom to hear him say shit like this. Like, I want him to get caught.
Right. It's almost here's my comparison. On Friends when Rachel is dating Ben Stiller's character and
Mm
nobody knows
hmm.
that he's
Mm
an
hmm.
asshole except for Ross.
Mm hmm. Mm hmm. Mm hmm.
He's like,
Yep.
"You stupid little birdie." That's what it is, and nobody knows that Ian is actually a bad guy except for Spencer.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. All right, time for a Betty or Betties of the
Yay.
week, I should say. I have chosen Natalie and Jessica, who are two brand new pledges to the network. Woohoo! Welcome, welcome. We're so excited to have you. If you're listening to this podcast, let us know if it's a Talking Texas Forever, uh, you know, obsession for you, then let us know that too. Why did you come? What made you decide to pledge? We just want to know who you are and get to know you a little bit better. Hopefully you're chat on the Discord, all the good things. So welcome, and we hope you are enjoying the
Yes.
time.
Welcome. Let us know what you're here for. Please and thank you.
Please and thank you. I feel like we have to do an emoji. I'm sorry. We have to do an owl for an emoji.
Absolutely. I mean,
There,
that's,
I was
yeah.
so happy that there was actually an owl emoji because I
Yeah.
got afraid.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is the one. You can stick that in an Apple Podcast review. We would so appreciate it. Rate us 5 stars. Leave a little review in there. Don't even have to say anything. Maybe just put the owl is cool. And just let us know that you're listening, you're liking the show. If you want to send the owl somewhere else, we're on Discord, Instagram DM, email, however you'd like to send it. We just want to know you got to the end of the episode and that you're liking and listening to us. So hopefully you'll do that.
You can just say,
Please
like,
and
these
thank you.
girls are a hoot
Oh,
with the owl emoji.
yes. That is so good. That was perfection. I'm
Thanks.
so proud.
Thanks.
Okay, so I'll give you the title for next week, the penultimate episode. We're already here. And my
Wait,
little secret. Yeah.
we're together next week, right?
Yeah, and we have a patron
Yes, and then are
next week.
we're together for finale? Are we
We
making that
are.
happen? Okay, good.
Yes.
I'm
Yes,
concerned. I
we
was
are.
like, I don't want to Zoom for a finale of Pretty
No,
Little
of
Liars.
course not. No, it's the finale. We have to be together,
No.
and we're gonna have
Yes.
a live podcast. So if you're interested in joining Patreon, that is in the description for the episode. That way you can watch us live, watch us before anyone else does. You can participate in the chat. We'll answer your questions. It's a great time. So patreon.com/Total Betty Podcast Network, if that interests you. Okay, so for next week's episode, the title is Monsters in the End. And my secret, we find out a secret from Ezra's past next week.
You know, that's so funny to me that I never once wanted to learn more about Ezra. This whole time, I'm like, I don't want to give more thoughts about you because I just
Mhm.
don't enjoy your character
I don't
with
disagree.
Arya. You're fine by yourself. Okay, so we're gonna learn something about Ezra.
What do you
Is
think
it?
it could be?
I don't know. Is it like lame? Like he was adopted, and that's not lame. I just meant like that wouldn't really mean anything to the
Right, it's not like
story.
it's stirs up a little trouble.
Or was he transferred from another school? Like he had to leave another school because there was like shady shit that went down there. But if that was the
Mm,
case, then his teaching license would probably be taken away.
yeah, maybe.
I think he was involved with some stuff. Like, I'm not
Okay.
sure what the stuff was, but he was involved with stuff.
All right.
I mean,
Stuff.
with stuff. Yes, he was involved with stuff and it's coming out.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
We will return next week with our patron who will be selected tonight. So good luck
Woo!
to our patrons. That is a perk of our $7.99 tier. You get to guest host on an episode. You'll be in the raffle to enter to, talk to us and be on an episode with us. So again, link in the description. But we'll be back next week with said patron, and I'm super excited. So we'll see you then.